But, yep. That guy, let's do that one more time now that we're all stacked up, because we can. And now, those level 235 Dracarmatic Bombards are dust. Hi, everybody. I'm going to talk about a couple frames that people think suck. I'm going to have a couple builds for that. We're going to talk about exactly why people think they suck and all of that stuff. So we're going to start with Equinox here, and then we're going to move to Ivara, and then on to Trinity. First things first, why do people think Equinox sucks? Because it's very apparent that, like, she's genuinely good and people know that, but some people just think she still needs heavily reworked, and I don't disagree with them entirely. I do think she has better abilities than people think she does, though really weird, and she needs a lot of augments and stuff to, like, make them work. Anyways, most people opt to just not use her one, which is, like, half of her kit. So this build actually uses that. So let's show what it does first before we even show anything else. Now, I will clarify, this is a contagious bond build, strangely enough, but it's not in the same way that you think it is. It's the most active contagious bond I've ever seen. So, I'm gonna buff myself. I'm gonna hit Maim. I hit my 3, which is Omamori as a subsume. Most of my stuff is set to defensive. I'm gonna walk up here. I'm gonna tag them with my Diriga, which he's not really doing a lot of damage, right? But he is applying a lot of heat stacks. Then I'm going to duality. My duality clone is going to hit them, and then contagious bond is going to kill everything. That's really consistent. Let's do it again, shall we? And then we duality. The duality kills one guy, contagious bond goes off, and they all die. It's very fun. If I'm completely honest, this is, I don't particularly like contagious bond as a thing, because I would prefer to kill things myself, but this feels close enough to killing it myself that I don't hate it, if I'm honest. It's pretty cool. Hi, it's me from the future. I forgot to mention one small thing. Equinox, the contagious bond damage gets stacked into Maim. So when you do the contagious bond thing, you get the stack of your Maim, and then you get a nuke with Maim like every, I don't know, 2 or 3 contagious bond procs, and it'll kill everything because, surprise, it scales with enemy damage. Anyways, that's it. Goodbye. But yeah, so let's talk about what we need for this build, because it is kind of an in-depth build with a lot of moving pieces. The Equinox build is this. This is a very defensive build. If you've noticed, I have like double shield regen, I have circumvent, we run Omamori, so we have so much survivability just baseline in this kit. You might notice a couple of other weird things. We have preparation in here, and we have prime sure-footed. Preparation's actually required for this build. Prime sure-footed, not really. You can actually just do this and then entirely drop this and run whatever else. It's nice, but it's there for the quality of life that you've got there. The other option is if you want the knockdown immunity permanently regardless, you can just run sure-footed here, and then you can run either power drift for the 90% into here, or you can run fortitude, and that'll be a 100% knockdown resist. You will have a little bit lower of duration, but it really just genuinely doesn't matter. We use energy transfer so that when we swap forms, our mend and maim stays active, and then we use duality. Now, duality is really interesting. This doesn't scale with strength for some reason. And Summoner's Wrath multiplies with this. Our clone does more damage than us twice. It does so much damage. So we're very defensive on this build, specifically because it genuinely doesn't need it. We run really high range because we like to have our maim so that when we nuke with it, it will kill more enemies. And then we run energize and Archon stretch for our energy generation. We aren't using that much energy, so it's not that big a deal. Plus we get pseudo equilibrium through her passive. That said, our shards are 2 cast speed shards and 2 energy max shards, all quality of life. Literally all of its quality of life. You might want flow if you don't have the 2 energy max shards, but other than that, yeah, you don't really necessarily need them. Now, the Phantasma Prime is very important here. We are running this. If you've noticed, none of this is stacking mods. We don't run any galvanized mods. We don't run stacking arcane either. We even run a vigilante armaments here. The reason why is because our clone uses this stat, uses this build. It even takes into account primary overcharge, which it gets active or access to if we run preparation. So So it will have 365 max energy when it spawns, which will give it the multi-shot from overcharge, which is great because then it gets a shit ton of fire rate, a shit ton of multi-shot, and it just absolutely blitzes an enemy. And then we run as much heat damage as we can. We run Blaze, Incendiary, Coat, and Scattering Inferno. I know Blaze is kind of hard to get. Don't worry about running it. Just run something like, I don't know, fucking damage. Damage. Honest to God, it's a Bane. If you're fighting specific enemies, it's a Bane. If you don't want to run a Bane, like me, just run like Vicious Spread. This weapon doesn't really fucking give a shit about that. I don't know. Really, it doesn't really matter what you put in that slot. It's gonna kill anyways. There are a couple of other options. You could run like the Furus. You could run, I used the Compressor for a little while. It works pretty good. And then the Diriga build, I'm running this. I'm running this. I was running the wrong build. That's interesting. So we're running Fired Up because the weapon damage gives it more heat, which means our heat inherit is even higher for our Phantasma. We're running Arc Coil, obviously. Manifold, obviously. Contagious Bond required, obviously. And then just quality of life stuff in Assault mode, Primed Animal Synced, Primed Regen, and Vacuum. On the plus side, this could just be a Shade. This could be a Shade, because you don't really need Arc Coil. You just need your Shade to shoot the enemy so that it's tagged with Contagious Bond so that your Phantasma can kill enemies. So you could actually stealth instead of doing what I'm doing with all the tankiness. Then I'm using the Hellstrom. The reason why I'm using the Hellstrom is just because it has so much status chance and it splashes and there's so many fucking AoE and it does a lot of stuff. This is not required. If you want to run like a heat mod, just run like Hellfire over it. This'll do the same thing. You won't notice a difference. You won't notice a difference. This is like extremely minor upgrade. It's not gonna matter. So yeah, that's that build. It actually works pretty good in a mission. I'm gonna go bring it to a mission so you can see. It's so funny because like the Phantasma's base damage does almost nothing with this build, but then the heat ticks literally like insta-kill enemies. Honestly, the heat inherit is like so important in this build too. But as soon as our Diriga decides to start doing things, so then we can spawn our clone. The clone kills one enemy and then it now starts to chain, and we're just kind of walking through enemies, waiting for our Diriga to tag them for Contagious Bond, and then we spawn, and then we Contagious Bond, and this is the loop. I'm not kidding. It is very simple and extremely overpowered. So stupid. If you get enough of a chain, it does damage cap. Surprise! It's Contagious Bond. Yippee! Contagious Bond things. Boom, 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 boom. You'll notice I subsumed over the 3. The reason why, fuck that ability. When you're swapping back and forth constantly, it's such a pain in the ass to use, because every time you're swapping and spawning a new clone, you're gonna be reactivating the 3. No, I'm not doing that. You can't make me. I can't do that. I'm not doing it. But, yep. Again, I don't even like Contagious Bond. I literally just like it because it's like the most active Contagious Bond ever. And then you just get to watch numbers. It's fun. It's really good. You actually have to like walk close to enemies, tag them with Diriga, and then you get to spawn your guy, which gets such huge damage scaling based off of Summoner's Wrath, and it's 300% damage increase. And then they all get inherited into Heat Inherit, and it's just it does so much damage, but it's really funny, and I really like this build. Like it's not gonna outkill like Sevaga, but if you want to use Equinox and you want to use her entire kit, except for like her 3, which is a pain in the ass to use, here it is. Second frame. So Ivara is a frame. Let me a little bit of backstory before this. Ivara is a frame I really don't or didn't like. That and she's got some weird shit for her, and I get why people don't like it. I understand. She's really good. I will preface that. I've been wrong before, and I was wrong about Ivara. I'm sorry. The only thing I think she still is slow. That and okay, so let's talk about this. I have Spectral Serration in. It doesn't work if I just go like this. It says it does, but it doesn't. You have to do a specific set of ritual to get it to trigger and activate consistently. So you have to shoot the arrow, or shoot the invis arrow on the ground, then activate the bow, then go invisible. And if you don't do it in that order, you don't get Spectral Serration. So, huge pain in the ass. but that's the way it is. So let's do this really quick. I'll show off the build really quick. Now, we are using Roar. There's a good reason for that. Give me a moment. I will show it. I will show it. We're going to dash wire arrow just to show the full strength. So it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to like hit the headshots consistently, especially under like speed enemies. But on the plus side, you just get to use your sleep arrow if you want. And those were level 235 Drakkar Manic Bombards. Yep, that's her bow. So we're running 5 shards here. We're running 3 energy max shards, entirely not necessary. I had them here because I had an overcharge build that was getting 1,000 energy, which was really funny. But other than that, it doesn't, like, you lie. It doesn't, it's not important. I have 1,000 energy. I won't run out. Then I'm running 2 parkour shards, all quality of life shit. So not important in the slightest. On her build, we have corrosive projection, which is a huge damage multiplier for her bow because armor stripping is very important on tough enemies. Crepuscular, surprise. Arcane Rage, which I think improves her bow, but you know, I never really tested it. If not, then whatever here. You can run like Augmented or something. It works totally fine. Prime Flow, which again, you could probably drop this and it wouldn't matter. But Concentrated Arrow and Empowered Quiver are really the important parts here. Do you honestly, I'm running Equilibrium. You could probably drop this for like Energize here and then run something else. Meh. We're running a decent amount of strength specifically to offset our overextended, which it's not bad. You could probably swap this out and then drop like Umbral Intensify and run Stretch and Augur Reach, and it would be fine. I run Preparation because I fuck waiting for energy. So if you want to run something else, you can run anything else there, especially because I'm running triple energy max shards. You could just run energy, maximum energy is filled on spawn shards if you really want. Let's talk about her Artemis concentrated arrow first. So the explosion radius is 13.3 meters with this build. You can make it larger if you want. I liked it at this radius, so I kept it. It's 25% base crit chance, plus 50% on headshot and full charge, and then they explode. It does remove punch through, which is totally fine. We're running Roar. A lot of people with Artemis bow have suggested to run Zadas. The reason why is because it makes the explosion double. However, I found it to be really fucking annoying because it randomly triggers Zadas on targets that you want to headshot afterwards, and then they have a bubble on them and it stops you from headshotting it. It's such a pain in the ass. But I'm running gas. Not what you expected, right? So the reason why, we're running Elementalist, we're running Roar, which double dips on the gas, we're running Longbow Sharp Shot, which also double dips on the gas, and then Galvanized Chamber with Spectral Serration. We're running a weird headshot build that we just fucking shoot enemies and they explode to trigger gas, and then the gas does millions of damage and leaves lingering clouds of death that do so much damage that every enemy just walks into them and falls over dead from how sticky it is. And that's the build. That's it. It's the whole thing. Bring a pet that has Tenacious Bond. It's really good for her because she just has crit. I don't really have that much to say about this build. It's bite. Surprise. So sorry. You kind of need it for like the vast... Actually, you didn't need that. That's interesting. You could just use Hunter Synergy and get Tenacious Bond here. Neat. Anyways, so yeah, you saw what that's like. Let's see it in a mission really quick. I'm not gonna... I was about to test it in Murmur and fuck that. There's too many enemies in Murmur that don't have headshots. All right. Ritual time. Bow, Invis, and then Roar. And now we get to Dash Wire. Boom. I'm very bad at aiming. You'll notice the clouds of gas are now stinky and killing enemies really fast. Yeah, if I really want to, I can just, again, put enemies to sleep with the sleep arrow here and then get a free headshot off of that. Kind of an immobile build. Bitch. All right, back to the showcase. That guy is really mad at me. I fucked his wife. I get so like lost in this build, if I'm honest. It's kind of just a fun build to mess around with from time to time. Because, like, look at those numbers. Dude, the explosions are so satisfying. So, I know people often suggest, like, primary acuity on builds like this. I particularly didn't like primary acuity, specifically because the gas clouds can trigger off of each multi-shot. The more headshots we trigger, the more gas that we put out, as this is a little bit of a status build, and the gas clouds are being buffed by, like, a lot. Yeah, it's a little immobile. On the plus side, you don't really need to use the dash wire augment if you don't want to. it's just that much more damage. You do have to leave the dash wire to roar again, which is a pain in the ass, but you are invisible permanently, so who gives a fuck? So yeah, anybody who says Avara is bad, don't know. She might be a little slow in today's game, yes. But no, she is not bad at all. I do still think her rituals existing to get her to like do the things that she wants are weird, and I hope that gets bug fixed, because wow, just having spectral striation not trigger when you're pressing the thing is really awkward, and I don't like that part. Also, I do know that Ivara can be fast, but that's a dash wire trick, and also the amount of setup you need to get it to work is too much that I don't consider it fast. I still don't consider it. Like, everything she does is like set up. Anyways, moving on. It's Trinity. There's two builds here, but I'm only going to show the one because this is the build that I like the most. So I don't know why people seem to think she's not good. She has the augment that's really good. I'll show exactly how to get it to trigger really consistently, because that's like, that seems to be the big thing. But first things first, let's just do this. Right, we are using the Hema and Zadas, so it is a gun build. That being said, we're able to use the Hema very effectively here because it will trigger our augment, Champion's Blessing, and then we just heal ourselves with our 4 every single time it's up. She gets passive armor stripping through her 3, as well as a damage redirection, which is really, really, really powerful. Surprise! As well as infinite energy with her 2. Let's do that one more time now that we're all stacked up, because we can. And now those level 235 Drakkar Manic Bombards are dust. Haste, in fact. I'm running 2 parkour shards, 2 cast speed shards. I think the cast speed shards are required on her. Everything else, not really. Parkour shards, quality of life. Ability strength, whatever. She doesn't really need it here. As for the build, we are running Combat Discipline Avenger. That will keep us going with a little bit of crit. That being said, you don't really need that. You can run something else if you'd like, but it can be kind of helpful for Champion's Blessing. Although, if you have her 4 and her 3 active, this doesn't do damage to you, or at least it does so little that it doesn't stack her Champion's Blessing augment. Then we're running a Baiting Link. It has to be there. It's armor strip. We're running just enough strength to armor strip with it, and then the more strength that you add, the more targets are there. So if you want, you can drop Arcane Rage and run like Augmented. You'll get 2 extra targets for her Link. That's pretty helpful, but it swaps really quickly to whatever's closest to you, so just kill what's closest to you, and then it'll swap to the next target, and then you don't need to. We're running Archon Intensify. I normally am a fan of Umbral Intensify instead, but in this case, like, we're healing so often that this stays active pretty often. Just plan around it. If you don't, it's whatever. You're losing a little bit of strength you don't really care about anyways. If you really do want to not care about Archon Intensify, run Umbral. There's literally, you're going to have so little difference that you're not going to notice. That's the big deal here. Archon Vitality. This is not here for any reason other than getting our health up. And if you want to do that, Primed Vigor puts you at the right number. Actually, regular Vigor does too, and it gives you a little bit of a higher shield gate base. Primed Vigor would be a really good option here. It's funny that there's a use for Vigor finally, but yep. You could do that. I don't run Prime Sure-Footed because Link is a status immunity. So as long as you have this active, you'll never get knocked down. You'll never get status proc, that kind of stuff. So I run just a parkour mod. You can run whatever you want here. I like parkour, so suck my ass. Then we're using Hema specifically because the reload is going to take half of our health, and then we can heal off of that. I'm running this. It is like a blast viral electricity build with primary merciless. You can kind of like, it kills without this being stacked up, so you can kind of run whatever you feel like. I do have a Riven here. It's multi-shot, fire rate, and punch through, so it's basically just primed shred. So you can swap this for Prime Shred if you want, and then you have the same build. I wanted to run Radiated Reload because the reload speed is really nice, especially for Trinity here. And honestly, the extra status for Galvanized Aptitude when it's multi-co is really, really good. Anyway, so there's a couple of ways to get her to trigger her Champion's Blessing augment. One of those is actually this. So Link Vitality increases health by 125% of Warframe's max health. That's wrong because it also increases it based off of your operator's max health. So if I'm in my operator, it has 1297. If I swap back, you see that it's not max health? It has 1653. And I stacked my Champion's Blessing. So if you really want to stack it without using the HEMA, so long as you have enough energy. You can stack it pretty quick, and she has infinite energy with her too. You know, you don't need to use the Hema. You can just use your companion, which I highly suggest doing in conjunction with the Hema anyways. This is like, it takes a little bit of getting used to because you're upkeeping so many buffs, but it is a very easy build. It's so easy. It's so easy. Oh my God. Anyways, let's bring this to a mission really quick. She's just, you guys should try her. She's fun. So I'm gonna like waste my energy here, or waste my ammo here. Specifically so that I can get a reload earlier on, so that I can get some Champion's Blessing stacked, get my link triggered. I ran out of energy because I'm silly. But now, we can do a swap to heal our Mungler. And now every time I drop health, or am low enough health to give myself Champion's Blessing, I will. Now, do beware, if you're using the Hema, the headshots heal you. So if you're looking to heal yourself for Champion's Blessing, do so before you shoot again, because, wow, you're gonna end up kind of just fucking healing yourself with the Hema and not giving yourself Champion's Blessing stacks. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but otherwise, yeah. Once you're fully stacked on your Champion's Blessing, however, there's kind of no reason to spam it. So just kind of use it whenever you feel like you're a little low health or need a shield gate. I'm going to keep using it pretty consistently. I don't know about you, but look at how much fucking Hema is killing everything. She's a good gun frame. Surprise! I have taken this build to level cap a good number of times. She's so much better than people give her credit for, and I'm kind of pissed. You motherfuckers. Use Trinity. She's so much better than you think. She's so much better than you think. She takes just a tiny bit of getting used to, and then on top of that, she brings infinite energy to your entire squad. Like, I'm so tanky without having any actual, like, tanky mods that base Steel Path doesn't even break my shield. Like, look at me standing still. I don't have DR stuff. I just have my own abilities. There, good luck. Have fun. I'm regenerating. You fuckers. They can't kill me fast enough. So this is like, she's so comfortable, and like, genuinely, I don't think she needs that much to get really crazy. She just needs any source of ability to like consume or build up Champion's Blessing stacks. And I think that's literally Link Vitality, which is a silver companion mod that I'm pretty sure everybody has. So, like, just fucking play her, man. I'm red critting with the Hema. I think this is more of a show of Hema, though, than anything else. I could literally do this all day, though. I don't know why. This is, like, satisfying as fuck to do for me. Like, the blast procs getting doubled on the Zadas, and then the projectiles getting thrown around and killing other targets nearby is like funny as fuck to me. I don't know why. So the other build I'll talk about briefly here is an energy vampire build. There's like a whole thing where if you run like Death Mark, you can or Mark for Death, or whatever the target that subsume is called, you can mark for death the target and then energy vampire. The energy vampire will instantly kill the target because you're running like low duration. And energy vampire does % health damage, surprise, and then it explodes in like an AoE and kills enemies. I don't think it's a particularly good build. It also struggles really, really hard from like,
hey, there's a little lip on the ground here. What happens if it didn't explode and kill enemies nearby?
It suffers from that really bad. Otherwise, like, I think it's a good build. I think it's like, it works. If you want to use like a nuke build for Trinity, it's her best one. I don't think you should use a nuke build for Trinity, but who am I to judge what you want to use? So I fucking do it, baby. Do it up. Do it up. But yeah, no, I vibe with this build really hard. It's like actually genuinely really fun. I mean, again, you could literally use whatever weapon you want. I'm just using the Hema because it fits her really, really hard, and she becomes kind of a monster with it. That being said, you could use, like, if you want to use melee, you could use, like, the Hirudo, I guess, to give her more max HP, which will then make your Link Vitality scale harder, so that you can get the stacks off of your companion faster. I don't know, there's, like, a lot of different things you could do with her, or whatever builds you want to use. I used to use the Aki-Core as well, just because I like the Aki-Core. Oh, hey, Angst. Where you at? See you later. Yeah, that's Trinity. Trinity is a lot better than people think she is. I've seen a lot of people talk about how she needs a rework again, and I just don't agree. I do think if she got any quality of life, her 4 would not be a full body cast, because I do think the cast speed is required on her, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. And that's it. That's my 3. Those, you know that like trend that people have been filling out, even Rebecca did it, where like people have talked about like their favorite frames. These are the 3 I saw the most in like needs rework critically or wish they were better. And I don't agree. I don't agree. There's a couple frames in there that I think should be better. Yeah. Not these 3. Although Ivara, I do wish she had some more quality of life stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'm working on a much longer video. It's gonna take some time. It's like a 4-hour long video. I omniformed everything. I'm not Bubonico enthusiast though. I didn't do everything, like weapons included, but I did the frames and all their exalteds and stuff. And I've got a whole take on every frame now. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.